In almost every family, there's one person who gets blamed for everything, the too difficult one, the too sensitive one, the one who always causes drama. And by the end of this video, we are going to understand the truth that turns the entire story upside down. In most cases, the so-called black sheep is not the sickest member of the family, they are the healthiest. They are the one who felt what everyone else agreed not to feel. We will show exactly why, and I will name the one quiet thing that finally set us free from the role. But first, who this is for? This is for those of us who have always felt like we did not quite belong at our own dinner table, the ones who asked the questions nobody wanted to ask, the ones who left or want to leave, the ones who were called too much, too dramatic, too rebellious, when really we were just awake and done. If we have ever wondered whether something is wrong with us because we could not fit into the family the way everyone else seemed to, this one is for us. Let's start with a scene most of us know in our bones. A family gathering, everyone is being pleasant, there is a certain script everyone follows, what we talk about, what we absolutely do not talk about, who we pretend not to notice, drinking too much, which comments we all let slide, and then there is a feeling the tension under the pleasantness, like a low electrical hum, noticing the thing nobody is naming, and maybe because we cannot help it, saying it, or simply having a face that cannot hide that we see it. And in an instant, the energy in the room turns. Suddenly, we are the problem. We are starting something. We are being difficult again. The discomfort that belonged to the whole room gets handed neatly to us to carry. So we leave the gathering, feeling crazy, feeling like the villain wondering for the thousandth time, am I the a-hole? Why we cannot just let things be like everyone else? Here is what I gently want to offer. It is not because something is broken in us, it is because something in us refused to go to sleep or to stay silent. In family systems, the way psychologists study families living organisms, there is a concept that explains almost everything I just described. Every family system wants balance. It wants to stay the same, even when staying the same is painful, because the familiar feels safer than the unknown. And to keep that balance, families unconsciously assign roles. The hero, the caretaker, the peacemaker, the invisible one. And often, one person gets assigned the role of carrying the family's shadow. All the pain, the rage, the dysfunction that the family cannot bear to look at directly, that person is the scapegoat, the black sheep. In therapy, they sometimes call this person the identified patient, the one everyone agrees is the one with the problem. But here is the part that will rearrange something inside us. The identified patient is very often the most emotionally honest person in the system. They became the problem precisely because they would not or could not keep pretending. They felt the dysfunction that everyone else had numbed themselves to. And a system that does not want to change will always turn on the member who reflects back what it is unwilling to see. We were not cast out because we were the worst of the family. We were cast out because we were the mirror. And nobody wants to break the spell of a family that has agreed not to look in mirrors. Let's go a little deeper into why a family does this, because understanding it is what frees us from taking it personally. A family system runs on something like an emotional thermostat. When one member starts to change, starts to heal, starts to question, starts to set boundaries, starts to wake up, it raises the temperature of the entire system. The unspoken rules are threatened, the comfortable silence is at risk, and the system, like any organism, tries to restore its old temperature as fast as possible. The fastest way to do that is to make the person who changed wrong, to pathologize them, to say they've become so negative since therapy, they think they are better than us now, they are changed and not for the better. This is not usually cruelty, it is fear, wearing the costume of judgment. The family is not trying to destroy us, the family is trying to survive the threat of its own healing. And here is the heartbreaking, liberating truth underneath it all. The black sheep is very often the one who breaks the circle, the one who refuses to pass the pain down to the next generation, the one who says the dysfunction stops with me, the one who breaks the generational trauma. That is not the act of the family weakest link, that is the act of its bravest one. So, how do we stop carrying a role that was assigned to us often before we could even speak? Here is a practice, 2 minutes. We can do it right now. Place one hand flat on the center of the chest. Press gently. This is the place where other people's stories about us tend to land and take root. Now, silently, we are going to name the role, whatever word the family used. The difficult one, the dramatic one, the black sheep, the disappointment. Let it surface. Do not flinch from it. It is okay. And now, with the hand still on the chest, we breathe one slow breath and silently say, "This was given to me. It was never mine to carry." Feel the difference between who they needed me to be and who I actually am. They are not the same. They have never been the same. The role lives on the surface of the chest where their voices echo. Who we actually are lives underneath the hands, quieter, older, untouched by any of it, ancient. One more breath, and as we exhale, imagine setting down the role. Not throwing it, not fighting it, just setting it down on the ground beside us, like a heavy coat we have been wearing in the heat for 30 years. We do not need it anymore. We never really did. So, remember what I said at the start, that the black sheep is usually the healthiest one in the family and not the sickest. Here is why that is true. To be the scapegoat, we had to be the one who would not numb out, the one who kept feeling when everyone else stopped, the one whose honesty was so inconvenient that the system had to make us the problem to protect itself. Our difficulty was our aliveness. Our drama was our refusal to participate in a lie. The black sheep is not the stain on the family. The black sheep is very often the family's medicine, the one carrying the truth that generations from now will finally be allowed to heal. We do not have to be understood by the people who needed us to stay small. Being understood by them was never the price of being whole. We can love them from a distance, or up close, or not at all. And still, finally, stop auditioning for a role we never really wanted. And here is what I want to ask us to carry into this week. The next time we feel that old pull, the urge to shrink, to apologize for our existence, to slip back into the difficult one costume, we are going to put a hand on the chest and silently say the words, "This was given to me. It was never mine." And then we choose in that moment who we actually are. And if this video named something we have carried silently for most of our lives, I want to ask one thing. In the comments, finish the sentence for me. The role my family gave me was just the word. Saying it out loud, even to a screen full of strangers who somehow understand, is often the first time that a role ever loses its grip. I rate every single one because that is how the black sheep actually finds their flock. Until next time, thank you so very much for listening. As always, please like and subscribe. If you support my content, it really helps me out with the algorithm. I love you all so very much. Stay safe, stay unharmed, and remember, frequency is power. Bye!